clock is ticking.
You know what? I come from.
There we go.
And more applause, more applause. There was applause. Okay. We are rushing because we're going to have a nice full night. So I will surprise you all with a rough draft of a new poem. As the eccentric Edmontonian poet, I was lucky enough to meet an Edmontonian legend by the name of Edgar Jones. And this is a poem for him, entitled, Eulogy for a Man I Met Once. A man caught uncomfortably on videotape in a downtown office is asked about his past. I watched the tape, unimpressed, until he mentioned that he'd been a painter and filmmaker, as well as a Lancaster bomber pilot. 1944, with German night skies and a moonlight sortie with a crew of 5 that he's responsible for getting them there and back. We sent him there in a sparsely furnished room, brightly lit with office window filtered sunlight and a video camera recording again. This time, the trip through time on his face. His hands one moment in his lap, the next on the invisible controls of a Lancaster, trying to bring an end to the war. I do not forget. I met you in person only once. Once was enough to be memorable. Once was enough to get your autograph. I found a photo of you in the provincial archives and had it photocopied. I scanned it, digitally removed the background, and printed only the portion of the image which, in my opinion, was a suitable portrait. You, hunched behind the viewfinder of your movie camera, though I knew not what you were looking at, seeing, yearning to record, to present, preserve, the pristine wilderness of Alberta, mid-20th century, post-war, with industrialization and modernization still years, if not decades, away. You flew over this land, just like the birds that you banded in order to protect them. You did a lot of that, didn't you? Protecting, preserving, presenting. Presenting paintings and films of that wild landscape that so few saw themselves. Likely it was too far away, but always there, waiting. Preserving through efforts to buy your own scrap of land and leave it alone for the animals, the water, and the trees, that land that now bears your name in memory. Protecting through other efforts and over other lands, trying to stop destruction by destroying those who would destroy. Fought fire with fire and encountered fire of all sorts, didn't you? Your Lancaster caught flack, didn't it? And the gallant crew did their damnedest to return fire and deter little threatening fires so you could all safely return to land. And now I am a poet. And I can be a painter or a filmmaker, though I'll likely never be a Lancaster bomber pilot. I'm too old. I've always been too big. Though I like to think I'd be a great warrior with enough pent-up anger and rage to just be able to charge right into the middle of a whole darn shooting match, kill who I needed to, and come out unscathed. Right, we'd all like to think like that. Those of us who would be interested enough to fight, those of us not courageous enough to stand by other moral principles and say we'd rather not fight at all. Thankfully, I don't have to find out. I don't have to test my mettle. You and many other men and women took on that challenge and won in the large sense. One for family, one for friends, one for neighbors, one for fellow countrymen, one for the animals and the land you love so much. Thank you. We shall not forget.